Let's specify x in the beginning, line space 0 multiply by 2 pi, and the interval is 100. Okay, what I want to take out of this line. So what is line space? Line space, it just creates a row vector. It can also create column vector, but its a specification, it's for row vector. And same thing as we start before. The starting point is 0. The end point will be 2 pi. The 100 is the number of elements or the length. We're gonna take length function going forward, but what this still means. So it's gonna start from 0 to 2 pi, and 100, there is 100 points will be between 0 and 2 pi in our plot. So he's gonna plot for you a 100 points between 0 and 2 pi. This is the n element. So if we remove this, this is very helpful also from MATLAB, because MATLAB, for each function he give you like an instruction. So he tells you x1, which is x, so it's x-axis because it's row vector. So line space row vector. So x1 or the starting point is 0. Then x2, we said we want it to be 2 pi, and n is number or like the interval, which will set it here to be 100. So we have 100 points between 0 and 2 pi. Then let's run. Now it's in the workspace. I won't explain all of this one more time, like it's all in the first episode, but like the workspace is our storage, so when we just press run, it already got saved in our workspace, if you guys remember from the last episode. So now we are good with our x-axis. Let's specify y-axis to be y equals sine x. Let's call our plot figure 1. So do I have to do this every single time? The thing about calling like figure 1, figure 2, figure 3 is just make your code more organized, and instead of like saying, oh, this plot or this plot, no, this plot will be figure 1 and the other plot will be figure 2. So it's kind like when you are press run in the end of your code, he just give your code more sense or more meaning. So we said it's figure 1, and just say plot x and y, semicolon, semicolon, and let's see what we'll get. Okay, so we got a graph. The x-axis is from 0 to 2 pi. 2 pi is around like 6.2, something like that, so it's the same here. And sine x for y, so sine x goes like from maximum or 0, probably like 0 to 1, like start from 0 going to the maximum, going back to the decline again, and in the center back to 0 again. This is how like 0 to 1, 0, and then return back to the center, return back to -1, and then to 0. So that's why he makes this like range depend on the y-axis, which because we said sine, so he make this range -1, 0, and 1 for us, and this is very powerful from the MATLAB. Okay, so we have this. What if I wanna like have some x-axis or x label and like y-axis label? I have title, I want legend, I want all of the things. How I can do that? One powerful thing, like, and this tells us that MATLAB is super user friendly, that if I wanna make an x-axis title, I will just make x label. And we mentioned this last time, that each function is really derived from the name of its function. So x label, you can just like know that it's the x-axis title. And txt is text, like I can write text here. And string, scalar, character, vector, string array, character array, cell array, all of this are data types, and I'm gonna more in depth, but basically he can tells you that you can write whatever character you want without any restrictions. So we can make for x-axis something like it can become radians, Okay, y-axis title. What's the function? Y label. It's super cool, to be honest. Like, it's very, very like helpful for you to learn this very quickly. Let's make this title sine x. Now let's try. We found radian, we found sine x. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, what about title? So if I want a title, the function is also title. Same thing, I will open brackets and then title text with the same all of these data types. So the title, maybe let's say basic sine wave, semicolon, semicolon, semicolon. Okay, so far so good. Okay, what if I wanna like it's nice, but I want the line to be maybe like much bigger. So what should I do with this? So basically, if I pin the cursor right there and I press comma, I will see all the other option that I can do. So let's see here font size, and I can basically editing. So when I press font size, MATLAB gave me suggestion and said like you have to enter a value here. The font size, the default, he said 11. So he also like give me the range of numbers I can choose from. So the default is starting from 11, so I have to target more than 11. So let's see if I want to like something like 15. It's way bigger now. Okay, let's see about Y label, font size, maybe also like 15, better, right? What about title, comma, okay, 15, but comma because it's also like title, so the title should be way bigger and much more in bold, so that's why MATLAB like did it for us in bold. Also, I want you guys like to see now the graph, it doesn't have a grid. So there is a function called grid on, where like in the sketching copybook in calculus, there is a grid which is like this is squares. So now the graph without squares, but we can add those squares in our graph. So if we said now grid on, here we go. We're gonna see like the graph now like has a grid on, which is kind of like makes it more like professional and academically friendly if you are like representing in front of professors or something like that, so this will be really helpful. What about legend if I wanna create some legend? And also legend came from legend function, add legend to axis. So also open parentheses, label, let's say sine x, and sine x is here. So far so good. So this for the legend, I can also editing, but let's return back to the graph itself. What if I want to change a lot of stuff about my graph? Okay, so what if I want to change the color? Let's go to the plot. So he gave me here option. So if I press option, he's gonna give me everything I can change. So let's say I want to change the color. So I put the color, double parentheses, and then like another double parentheses, and I will press R. This should gives me like red color. Now it's a red color. But if I press P, it's a blue color. So how should I know all of those abbreviations? Like it's just like first letter of every color. So no, we're gonna go through this. There is like in MATLAB documentation, he make like a glossary or dictionary for all the colors or all the marker symbols, and we're gonna go through this in just a minute. But we're gonna finish. What if I wanna like line style? So what's the line style function? Line style, I'm telling MATLAB that I want my graph or my plot to be in the form of Zeus line style. So I can choose. So if I choose this right now and I press run, so my line is in the form of Zeus to semicolon. So this is the line style. It's just how my graph wanna be. So we said I wanna be like this. Okay. What about line width? Line width. So it's increasing the width of my line. So, and also the default is 0.5. So 0.5, I should target 2 or 3 maximum. But what if I press 10? What we're gonna see? Definitely we don't wanna see this graph in this like font or size or width. So maybe 5. It's okay, but still not the best. So the default is 0.5. So what about 2? This sounds really good to me, so I will leave it at 2. But the takeaway from this that each function has its own rules. Line width, the default starting point is 0.5, so I cannot apply whatever like works with line width will be with line style. It's both different. Okay, returning back, how I can know all the colors and all like different styles and markers. So last time we were saying like I can just press help and then write anything I want to know about help plotting. Here MATLAB gave me everything, all the links that I want to know about plotting. So let's go to the documentation. Plot. He will give me different function. Let's scroll down, all the way down. Yes, here. So marker symbols is very important because we're gonna go through this. And this all the symbols that can be marker symbol, and we're talking about line style in few seconds, and here are all the options that I can use if I want to use a line style. And the colors, so we use red, we use blue, green, there is something like cyan, yellow, black, white, and all the abbreviations. So okay, should we actually memorize all of those? Not like it's already here, so we don't have to memorize all of those, but pick a favorite. So like from color name, just pick 3 like favorite colors with you, because if you wanna make like a maximum 3 plots or something, you already know. Other than that, you can always return back to here. Also like for the marker symbol is also like something like, oh, this is the famous markers that usually like very common in all graphs. You can use different things, it's very up to you, but same thing, like also like pick 3 4 favorites. Okay, so this is how we can know all the colors, all the symbols, all the line style, all the line widths. And as I said, I can like change all of this. Like let's try with the legend. I can have like label too. So let's see something like cosine x, but I do have one graph, but I can do that if I want. I'm not sure I'm gonna accept it, but I can keep going because legend, it can like if I have a 3 plots or something, I can just have as much as I can, but I want options. He gave me location. So the legend is usually on the top right corner, but when I press location, so I can make it north, south, east, west. I can choose wherever the location. The best trick about MATLAB that I can let MATLAB choose the best location for me, depend on how my plot looks like. So if I scroll down, there is location best. Like I'm just telling MATLAB, please MATLAB, choose the best location for me. And if I press run, it was a little bit lower, but now it's higher a little bit. So in the MATLAB perspective, this is the best location. What if I get back again and I press best but outside? So now he puts the legend outside my graph. That's very, very helpful. Like if you have several plots, MATLAB will make sure your legend is seen and in the best location. So this for legend, and as we can see right now, we can edit every single function, whether X label, Y label, title, legend, everything.